We will move on to the final fight we're going to preview for next weekend on Saturday night. And that one is going to be Jake Paul, Julio Chavez Jr. And this fight, just want to get your take, but I'll let you jump right into it. Chavez Jr., most of his career, his success was at 160 to 168 pounds. This fight is going to be at the cruiserweight limit of 200 pounds. Obviously, there's been some inactivity. He did fight Uriah Hall, former UFC and MMA fighter, which he won. He also had a bout against Anderson Silva, which he lost, the great UFC legend and Hall of Famer. Just want to get your take. Is this a real fight at the age now that Chavez Jr. is? I believe 39 years old, and some of the wars he's been in. Does he have a chance, or is this, as some people would say, just another great matchmaking and selective pick by Jake Paul and his team?
Look, Paul is still a work in progress as a fighter. And I give him credit. He's doing everything he can to be the best fighter he can be. And again, I said it before, it's the American way. He had a vision. He had a belief. He had a dream, right? We should not, frown on anyone's dream. And he went out there, Paul, and he executed it. And he's making it happen. You could hate him, you could like him. It doesn't matter. He's gone out there and he's put color to his sketch in his mind of what he wanted to do, and he's executed it. So yeah, he picks his spots. Yeah, he's a work in progress, but he's also a pretty good judge of talent. He's a pretty good, like you. You're not pretty good. You were a great scout in the NFL. Paul's a pretty good scout of choosing the right opponents. I know he has an edge all the time, but hey, what are you gonna knock him for? If he brings the money, he deserves to have the edge, and he brings the money. He makes the promotion. So he's a good manager. He's becoming as good a fighter as he can. We'll see where that goes. But he is a damn good manager. If I was fighting, I wouldn't mind him managing me. Paul. I'm not joking. I'm not being facetious here. He knows what to pick. And he's picking Chavez, except for the Tommy Fury fight, which was still competitive at least. But except for that, he's been perfect in his opinions and his selection of who he's going to fight and why. Look, Chavez, to get to it, he's a former world champion. He's been inactive. He's been out of boxing. He's had all kinds of issues personally, outside the ring, with his lifestyle, with so many things where you could argue that he wasn't a fighter anymore. He wasn't training regularly or mentality to be a fighter anymore. He just picks his spots because he still has the name. Yes, he's a former world champ. He earned that. He earned that himself. That's not from the father. But a lot of it is the father's name at this point. And with all the inactivity, all the lifestyle issues, everything else, I don't see Chavez winning. And then with his past performances, you said it, bud. He beat Hall. Hall was very competitive with him. I mean, my goodness. Hall was real. I give credit to Hall. Hall looked pretty damn good. I was impressed with the boxing ability of Hall, who wasn't a boxer.
And that was only a 6-round fight. The Silva fight was an 8-round fight. This is scheduled for 10.
And another one. Hall was not only really competitive. I thought it was a close fight, to be honest. But Silva beat him. And Silva was 45 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. A former UFC great, no MMA great, but not a boxer. And he beats him. Paul's going to beat him. Again, Paul doesn't pick guys so, he'll look stupid. He picks guys so he can sell it. He picks guys that does have the chance to give some entertainment element and some competitive element. But all of those elements are picked to be in favor of Paul. Again, what are you going to do? Get mad at him for doing what anyone out there would do if they had the opportunity or the ability or the guts? Because it does take guts to put yourself out there the way Paul does. I don't care if you hate him or like him. It does. I don't care if you like what I'm saying or don't like what I'm saying. Because I'm saying what needs to be said. Not based on any biases. Not based on anything other than what the facts tell me. So, I like Paul to win the fight. I think it'll go the distance. You never know. Chavez does like to throw the left hook, the traditional punch of the Mexican fighters where you throw the left hook. Sometimes he might lead with it a little bit. He's got a decent left hook to the body and to the head. Sometimes he turns it off the hook or off the jab fairly well. But he's not real busy. He'll probably move a little bit. I look at Paul using the jab to stabilize him on the outside, to control that movement, to keep Chavez, keep him in front of him where he can set him up. I look for Paul to go to the body, take the legs away from Chavez when he boxes a little bit. And I look for one other thing. An opportunity where Chavez, when he does throw the left hook, Bud, if he leads with it a little bit, the best punch of Paul, besides the jab, is his right hand. He's got a pretty good right hand. Yeah, he's got a good uppercut too, you're right. But he's got a pretty good right hand. And if he could time the left hook being a little wide in front of him, well, as I always say, what do I say? Straight beats round. The straight right hand could beat the left hook and could give Paul maybe an opportunity to do something that, even as a favorite, I don't think too many people expect, which would be to drop a former world champion, even in the state that this former world champion is now in. There it is. I hope it's good enough for you. I hope it's good enough for the people out there. But that's it. That's it. Again,
It's a good breakdown. Paul's won 5 in a row heading into this one since that loss that you touched on versus Tommy Fury. He's a 7-1 favorite. And I just want to say, you talk about selling this fight. It is a DAZN pay-per-view, but some good fights I'm excited about on the undercard. You got the former cruiserweight champ Unil Dorticos fighting the current cruiserweight champion Gilberto Ramirez, and then a very interesting matchup. Tevin Farmer, fresh off of his rematch loss to William Zepeda, is fighting Floyd Schofield. Schofield was supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson, fell through last minute. This will be his first fight since that happened. So 2 competitive fights on paper. Maybe you get your money's worth if the main event doesn't live up to it for Chavez and Paul.